Hello everybody and welcome to the table. Today we're taking a look at a brand new knife from OKNIFE, or Olight if you prefer. This one right here is called the Mettle 2. And so this is a nice smaller sized everyday carry piece. Really nice design, and that's kind of what drew me to it at first because I saw the picture, I added it to the cart, and I purchased it. I did not originally look at any of the other specs because just the overall shape is quite attractive in my opinion. I do like the blade shape, I do like the micarta handles, and it actually came in, it ended up being a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. So let's go ahead and pull out the ruler, get an idea of what we're working with here, because our blade length on the Mettle 2, as you can see, it is slightly under 3 inches long. The overall length is also about 7 inches overall. So while it's not a tiny knife, in the photos I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger. But in no way am I disappointed because there are a lot of nice things about this knife. So number one, these micarta scales. So it's this green micarta, has a pretty good texture to it. So I don't know if you can hear that, but it has a nice texture. It's not super grippy, but it's definitely going to give you a good handhold on the knife. So I do love the micarta scales. We have a button lock right here. So the button lock action is quite nice. You can use that to deploy the knife if you prefer. But it also does come with a flipper tab with some nice jimping on there. So we can also push button that open. You know, it's pretty snappy. It's not the snappiest flipper I've ever used, but it definitely does the job. And the blade shape itself, I love the blade shape. This is a drop point, but it almost has kind of like a spear shape to it. We can see there's a nice little swedge up on the top, some jimping along the spine, which, you know, is going to help with your grip a little bit. Right here on the blade, we see the 154 cm blade steel listed. So that's, of course, always nice. And on the reverse, we just have the model name and some serial number, I guess. So the Mettle 2. This, of course, is a black-coated blade, black-coated pocket clip. I'm not a huge fan of the black coating, but, you know, I prefer this like in a stonewash or a satin, but this is what was available, so I still decided to pick it up. We also have kind of this nice little indent right here, kind of more for decoration, in my opinion, than anything, because it's not quite designed to be a thumb, you know, a thumb opening knife. I guess you could use it. Maybe it gives you somewhere to open it two-handed if you want. But really, this is a flipper. You know, this is a button lock flipper. That would be the way you'd probably prefer to open this knife and to fidget with it if you're going to fidget with it like I do. Deep carry pocket clip, of course, standard OKNIFE Kaiser style deep carry clip. Screws are flush with the frame, and it's going to be reversible for tip up, left or right hand side, so that's always nice. And the OKNIFE logo, rather than being on the blade, they chose to put it onto the pocket clip like we see right here. So that's just a little bit of billboarding right there. Not too bad though. But again, a smaller knife, very fun to actuate. Box right here has some of the specs. Again, we have a 154 cm steel blade, micarta handles, and the weight comes in at 2.5 ounces. So that's actually pretty nice. So let's check if that's accurate. So let's turn on the scale. And taking a look at the weight, yeah, let's see, at 2.5 ounces. So that's pretty accurate. So good job there. So either way, kind of a nice lightweight knife. And of course, inside the frame, you can see there is some skeletonized, some holes essentially, skeletonization, I guess is the word I'm looking for. You know, to help reduce that weight a little bit. And since Kaiser is the OEM for OKNIFE, they tend to do that on all of their own models too. So at this point in the industry, if you don't see a steel frame cut open like that, you know, that's almost a warning sign that the company's not doing everything they can to lighten up their knives. So really, really feels good in hand. But again, it is a small knife. You can see how it fits right here. For my hands, I can get a full, you know, 4-finger grip on there. But if you have larger hands, you know, you might only get 3 fingers on it, just depending, especially if you're wearing gloves or something like that. The knife did come with the little pouch. So the OKNIFE pouches, I have tons of these lying around at this point. And this particular knife did come with one of the coins. So we have a nice coin right here that came with the knife. It's kind of like a collectible, just some extra swag that OKNIFE sometimes throws in. So we can see on this side right here, OKNIFE Outdoor Elite. And then the reverse side has the model name there. So the Mettle 2, OKNIFE folding pocket knife, and there's a cool motif with the wolf there. I think that's pretty neat. And so this is going to, of course, join my collection of OKNIFE coins that I have at this point. And I definitely wanted to mention this because not every OKNIFE does come with a coin. Some of them come with patches. Some of them just come with the pouch alone. So it's always worth knowing ahead of time what extras they do come up with if you're a collector and if things like this matter to you. I personally like the coins. I think they're just a kind of a cool little touch. I don't know anyone who would carry them around or anything, but for the collection's sake, yeah, have the coin with it. That's kind of cool. You know, but the knife itself, it speaks for itself, I should say. So the blade is nice and sharp. So actually, before I say that, let me actually cut with it, make sure I'm not lying to you. Okay, the blade is sharp. But I kind of just expect that out of the box from anything made by Kaiser, OEM'd by Kaiser. So nice sharp blade. In terms of blade play, no blade play at all. Centering, let's check out the centering, which looks just fine to me. So again, it's one of those knives, there's not a whole lot of downside here. Look at the pictures, decide, is this a knife that is attractive to me, and make your purchase based on that, and the size, and the steel. But really, for what you're paying here, it's a pretty good deal. Now, the way OKNIFE, Olight works, they have a monthly sale. So, you know, about once a month for about a week, they'll have sales on all their products. And that's when is the time to buy OKNIFEs and Olights and things like that. Because normally this would probably run around $60. During the sale, I bundled it with one of the lights I was buying, and it ended up being like half that price. So for like 30-ish bucks, you know, I couldn't say no to getting this knife and just adding it to the cart. But we do have some knives that we can do for size comparison's sake. So nice small knife with the Mettle 2. Let's make some space on the table. And we also have right here the Benchmade Bug Out. So this is the Bug Out right next to the Mettle. You know, very similar, you know, the similar cutting edge, but the Bug Out is a little bit larger, which goes to show because the Bug Out is actually kind of a small knife on its own. But looking at another smaller knife for comparison's sake, let's see, we have the Kershaw Cryo right here. So this is the G10 variant of the Kershaw Cryo. And that actually is, you know, honestly, that's a pretty good comparison, you know, size-wise and everything in terms of blade length, overall length. I'm betting the Cryo is going to come in a little bit heavier because it's a steel frame lock, and but otherwise pretty actually darn comparable. You know, nice and grippy, thickness. Not a bad comparison there. But really, I just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on the OKNIFE, and wanted to get opinions from you guys as well. So what do you think about the Mettle 2? Now, the Mettle 1 I totally skipped, never bought that one. Just didn't quite appeal to me. It also was a nice button lock style knife, but it seemed a little bit more generic in terms of blade shape and size, you know. And this one kind of just sings to me a little bit more personally. So tell me what you think about the Mettle 2 in the comments below. Hope all of you out there have a knife day, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.